In this video, we're going to be talking about the real reason why people don't become successful. And I'm going to be pulling this through my own personal experience as someone who doesn't feel like they've really achieved that success that they're after. So, just to kind of jump straight into it, is that the short and simple answer is that you're the problem. And I'm saying this to myself as saying, like, I'm the problem. Because the only reason that I am not successful or where I want to be with my success is all because of the actions that I have taken that have gotten me to this point. And for some people, that might seem rough, but for others, I actually feel like that gives us freedom because if we're the reason that we're not successful, we could also be the reason that we are successful, which to me, honestly, is so freeing to know that it's all on me. But the question is, to go even deeper onto that, is like, great, it's all on me. But why haven't I been able to achieve the success up until this point? And that's what we're going to dive into. So, the way that I want to unpack this is just kind of to like go a little bit back into like principles of what exactly will help you become successful. And the way that I see that is like two main things. The first one is that, for example, let's say that you wanted to be a professional at bowling, for example, and you want to learn how to first, you know, roll the bowling ball and make a strike, you probably got to know how exactly that works, how the ball's going to move and all that stuff. And to a certain extent, you could just grab the ball and throw it, and eventually you'll probably hit a couple strikes. But if you understood the mechanics behind it, then the chances of you being able to actually get to that strike more consistently and faster is probably a lot higher if you understood the mechanics. So the first thing that we have to like obviously understand is that there are some like tactical elements to success. And beyond the tactical elements to success, there's actually one thing that's way beyond the tactical elements because the tactical elements are like 20%. But the other 80% is something else that we're going to talk about in a second. But when it comes to the tactical elements of success, it really just comes down to a couple things. Number one is laser focus, and number two is a clear step by step strategy, process, game plan, some sort of direction. So then when you combine those things together, the tactical side of success is that you need to have like a clear roadmap of what you're going to follow in order to achieve success. And then you need to have laser focus on only that, not get distracted by the shiny objects that come up, and just full on focus straight ahead and do the work that you need to do. And that's the tactical side of it. But the other side of it, which was I was saying was the whole other 80% of it. See, that's the hard part. And at least that's the hard part for me. I don't know if it's the hard part for you, but that's the hard part for me. And this piece is the part that actually stops us from doing the work. It's the part that holds us back from ever actually achieving our goals. No matter if we know all the tactics, we have a game plan, we think we have the focus and everything, we still hold ourselves back, which is why the most important aspect of this, the 80%, is actually the mindset that you have going into this. What's going on inner, the inner work that you do in order to achieve the results that you want, because it really doesn't matter if someone gave you all the money in the world. You know, it's like the whole thing where like these lottery winners that they get millions of dollars and in just a few short years they're broke. And a lot of times, They blow their money on random stuff. They give money away thinking that they're doing good, and sometimes they even like put money into investments to say like, oh, I'm not going to be like the rest. I'm not going to be a statistic like the rest of it. But somehow like your mindset and your energy just attracts you to come back to your center, because you see we have like this thermostat inside of our body for what we allow, what we accept, what we deem that we deserve. And let's say like on a scale of like 0 to 100, like you see like the ultra rich people, or the people that you believe are like the top of the top of the top of who you want to be, they're at that 100 mark. And then on the flip side, you see the 0 mark, where it's like the people that you want to be nothing like, and you don't want to ever experience that. And let's say that you're at a 50%, and you're in the middle there. You're just kind of coasting. You're not too high, you're not too low. You're just what you feel is normal. If, for example, and you've probably noticed this, like even for yourself, let's talk about like even your bank account. Let's say if you're used to having, at least $1,000 in your bank account, if you do something and it drops you under that $1,000 mark, you start to like freak out, and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to figure out how to, make more money, how to recoup this stuff and get back to like what I feel is normal. Because there's a number in your head where it's like, oh, if I'm there, that's a problem. And on the flip side is, if someone just, if $1,000 was your normal, and you've never seen more than like $10,000 in your bank account in your life, if someone gave you $20,000 in your bank account, you would find a way to get back to that thousand or very close to it relatively quickly. Like, let's say you're only making $2,000 a month. It takes you a year to make $20,000 to $25,000. But somehow that same $20,000 to $25,000, if someone gave it to you today and it was in your bank account, you would find out how to spend it and the $2,000 that you're making every single month extremely fast. Extremely fast. Because your financial thermostat tells you what is normal for you, and it tells you what you deserve and what you don't deserve. So when you don't deserve something, it's going to pull you back to where you think you should be. And when you do deserve something, or when you find a minimum of you, then it's going to push you back up to make sure that you're in your comfort zone. So what it really comes down to is like finding out, you know, what your comfort zone is, and then figuring out, how do we increase that? How do we go from that 50% up to that 60% mark, that 70% mark? How do we get ourselves to feel worthy of the life that we actually want? And at times, maybe you do things that make you feel unworthy. Maybe you do things that you know that you shouldn't be doing, which pull you down. Or maybe, things have happened in your past that subconsciously make you believe that you're not worthy of certain things that you want in the future. So you hold yourself back from achieving it because of things that you've experienced from just within yourself, in conversations with others, things that you've done to people, things that people have done to you. And it's just a combination of all these things, because at the same time, like, you know, life is like 10% what happens to us and 90% of how we react to what happens to us. But that's like the biggest thing, is that we react to things in very different ways. For example, right now, this weekend, I'm here in New York City, and I'm here in Central Park, and there was some, you know, issues going on with the airlines, that they were going to be canceling a lot of flights. And, the people that I was coming here with, some of them were like, oh my gosh, like, we might not be able to make it. So, like, we should probably, cancel ourselves, because they're giving us like a free cancellation and blah, blah, blah. We don't have to worry about everything. And I'm like, but this also means that the airport's going to be empty. We don't have to show up that early, or you know we can just like kind of breeze through the whole thing. We'll be fine. And obviously we're here, so we ended up making it. We didn't get delayed. We actually left early and landed early, and we went through TSA in like not even 5 minutes. There was like 8 people in front of us. It was like two or three different groups. And it just kind of goes to show that it's like life is very much how you respond to the things that happen to you. So if you learn how to respond to things in a way that will be beneficial for you, you'll start to create the life that you actually want to have. So, I don't want to pretend that I'm some sort of expert in this. I'm just someone who's really making this video for myself and letting myself know that like it's all about how I respond to things. It's all about how you respond to things. It's not about exactly the thing that happens to you. So start, you know, going into how to step into what you want by realizing and starting to live like you can actually decide on how you react to the things that happen to you. Because once you realize that you are in full control, but at the same time, you have absolutely no control over the things that other people do and the circumstances that happen to you, all you can control is how you react to it. So, if you want to kind of continue on this journey, I'd love for you to be kind of a part of this journey. Feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel and also join our free community that we're creating. There'll be a link in the description. And I look forward to kind of chatting with you guys, seeing you on the inside, and we'll take it from there.